Pokémon Legends ZA was a surprise, but not only because nobody expected Kalos to get something. It actually is because if we ever got a Legends Kalos game, we expected it to take place in the times of the Pokémon War. That was where all the fan theories ended up, and while it is super cool, it's also awesome that we got something completely unpredictable. But a recent conversation made me think that a game so deep into the past might prove to be difficult to pull off. So hey, I'm not so ace trainer, and what about Pokeballs? Let's get into it. This question materialized in my mind when Kuri-chan sent a picture to my Discord questioning if the image here could be somewhat related to Legends ZA by being an image of old Lumiose City. Also join the Discord if you haven't, link in the description and pinned comment. But yeah, that image is mysterious, though it could be anything. In fact, I even said that the church in my little Portuguese town looks exactly like that. So it could definitely be simply Paldea. But it's not the picture that really got me thinking, it's actually the timeline it is a part of. It has all kinds of key history moments in that weird Pokemon alphabet that we tried but cannot decipher, but it also has the Hisuian Pokéball, the reference to how Levanton was the one that helped this item evolve. In Pokémon Legends Arceus, Levanton tells us that the Pokéball is a recent invention, and it all points to it all likely beginning in Johto through the use of apricorns. We even see this tradition still being maintained to this day by Kurt in Azalea Town. We get him the apricorn, he gets us the apriball, truly a gentleman. But what about before that? What about the times before all of this became a thing? The anime shows us all kinds of weird explanations as some strange relics of all shapes and materials, but in game terms, there simply were no Pokeballs before, there were no catching devices. And so, with them being such a mainstay of the franchise and one of the most recognizable items in all media, how would they pull off a game without them? The answer could be, of course, as easy as we go back in time and we're the only ones that have them, which would frankly be pretty bad, or things could go a bit deeper and completely change Pokemon as we know it. In Pokémon Legends Arceus, Leaf, one of the villagers, talks about how in Kanto at that time they have a way of taming Pokemon. They don't catch them, they tame them. This is probably showcased in how both the Diamond Clan and the Pearl Clan have their Pokemon with them and not inside Pokeballs, except for Ingo, because whether he knows it or not, he was ripped from his time and into the past. From the very first Pokemon game, we were taught that you use Pokeballs to catch Pokemon and cannot carry any more than 6. In the case of these taming trainers from Pokémon Legends Arceus, they never go past 3. Every trainer that has more than 3 Pokemon actually uses Pokeballs. Could this be a hint at how they would do it if they ever do a Legends game way back in the past, or would they simply never dare to just stray away from the use of Pokeballs? There are many events Pokemon fans would love to live through or learn more about through adventuring in that time period. The Kalos War is always the best example, as it is not only something grand in the history of Pokemon, but also something that makes sense to talk about now because of Pokémon Legends ZA. But the darkest day in Galar and the creation of the relic items in Unova, meaning a civilization was there, are also time periods that people would love to explore. And considering that the Pokeball was likely created in the last 300 years at max, or at least it appears so from Levanton's comments, this would also affect the events of the meteor showers and the Draconid people, which happened 2000 and 1000 years ago, and then everything to do with the Paldean Empire. So the question becomes, is the community ready for such a change? A change where you don't even throw a Pokeball at a Pokemon, but you actually tame them using some other mechanic? In my opinion, considering the payoff would be adventuring through some really cool events in the history of Pokemon, I think they would be fine with it. Odd Cypher, when I was streaming, suggested a bit of a work on the friendship system to create a quote-unquote loyalty system where you kept the Pokemon happy and it stayed with you. Maybe it would never leave, but it could simply not obey you like a high-level Pokemon when you don't have enough badges. I think keeping the party at 3 would make it even better, as it's the way they show trainers or tamers doing it in Pokémon Legends Arceus. In fact, AZ at the end of X and Y literally tells us to show him what a trainer is, which might hint that they're not being trainers back in his day, and he, despite using Pokeballs now, has only 3 Pokemon as well. Overall, I think that we can expect Legends games to mostly focus on unknown events in the Pokemon franchise as a way to not have to change their formula to the point where Pokeballs don't exist. But I would love to see these ancient events that we've come to wonder about ever since they were revealed in their original games to at least once become the playground for whatever adventure we have waiting. And if they do, I'll gladly go from a trainer to a tamer in a heartbeat. And that is all I have for you today. Pokeballs might pose a bit of a problem if Legends game go too far into the past, but what about you? Would you go from trainer to tamer? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content, and also ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. Also, you can become a channel member or check out my merch in order to further support the channel. I'd be forever thankful for that. You can follow me on social media or check out one of my streams here and on Twitch. All the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.